All right, and a very good evening to you. Many thanks for joining us. This is Easy Friday. On this day, the 8th day of May, there is 2026. And on this particular day, back in 1945, just a little bit of history, marked the end of World War II in Europe. 30 years ago, fast forwarding to 1996, South Africa adopted a new constitution. And 1 year ago today, the world experienced a US-born Pope. Those are some of the events that happened on this particular day, and we have a comprehensive coverage of the news that are happening on this day that will go down in history. But first things first, this are the highlights.
The gold mines of death. 15 confirmed dead after Rumo's mining area in West Pokot collapses. Era of discrimination is over. President William Ruto says no community or region should be left behind in terms of development. And going for the goons. Deputy Inspector General of Police Eliud Lagat orders renewed crackdown on political gangs.
All right, Caroline Joroge is a sign language interpreter. My name is John Kago. Now, the death toll from last evening's Rumo's gold mine tragedy in West Pokot has risen to 15 as search and rescue operations for survivors continue. The rescue operation is being hampered by poor network coverage and inaccessible roads.
The Kenya Red Cross, the provincial administration and the county government of West Pokot disaster team are currently on the ground to conduct the rescue mission. The incident that occurred last evening, however, is facing difficulties due to poor network and the remoteness of the site from the main access roads. West Pokot Governor Simon Kachapin says they will continue to assist the affected through deployment of disaster management and medical teams to the ground.
Pata habari kwamba watu wamefunikwa na hiyo mikodi mahali wamekuwa wakijimba mambo ya gold, na idadi kamili ya wale wamefariki, idadi kamili bado hatujapata.
Tutafanya investigation ijulikane kama kuna mtu alikuwa anafanya blasting na mining kwa njia yenye haijafuata sheria, atachukuliwa hatua ya kisheria.
Litulia James is among the survivors and narrates the ordeal at the gold mine.
Mawe alituangukia na watu wengi alikufia hapo, lakini wengine tu watu wachache ndio wamepona hapo, lakini wengine wengi wamekufa.
Dr. Karen Cheyech, who is among the doctors attending to the victims, said they are working around the clock to stabilize those brought in for medication.
So 5 patients were brought in yesterday evening after being involved in a gold mine accident. 4 men and 1 female patient. 2 of them had severe crash injuries and had to have emergency surgeries, including amputations and toileting of the wounds.
Rumo's gold mine is located in Morita area of Pokot North sub-county, bordering Turkana, which is famous for artisan mining. Michael Moniga for Easy Friday.
All right, now security agencies in Kilifi County have announced the arrest of the main suspect linked to the defilement and brutal murder of 7-year-old Kezia Matuki, whose death sparked public outrage and protests among residents earlier this week. The suspect, who is expected to be arraigned next week, was arrested as hundreds of residents continued to demand justice for the miner during demonstrations held in Kilifi town. Authorities have, however, withheld details of the suspect's identity and place of detention, citing security reasons.
Kilifi North Deputy County Commissioner and Chairman of the Kilifi North Security Committee, Samuel Mutisia, confirmed the arrest of the main suspect connected to the murder of 7-year-old Kezia Matuki.
Nataka kuwatangazia kwamba tumeweza kupiga hatua mbele sana, na kwa saa hii tunavyoongea, yule mhalifu ama mhusika mkuu katika kile kitendo tayari ako mikononi mwa polisi. Ameshashikwa na ameshawekwa kwa police custody in one of our police stations in the region.
According to Mutisia, the suspect was arrested on Friday and is expected to appear in court on Monday as investigations into the incident continue. He, however, declined to reveal further details, including the suspect's name, where he was arrested, and the police station where he is being held.
Jina lake kamili sitasema, na mahali tumemshika sitaweza kusema kwa saa hii, kwa sababu bado uchunguzi. Unajua, hii ni case ambayo iko na uchunguzi mwingi sana ambao unaendelea, na any information lazima tukue chonjo kwa ile ambayo tunasema na ile ambayo inaweza kutusaidia kwa uchunguzi wetu.
Reports indicate that the suspect allegedly surrendered himself at a police station in Voi, Taita Taveta County before being transferred to another location under tight security.
Lakini wakati sasa ameshikwa na uchunguzi bado unaendelea, una link pia kwa wengine ambao pia wataweza kutafutwa na kushikwa. Hiyo ni kasi yetu, hiyo ni kasi ya DCI na ako hapa.
At the same time, government officials urged residents, especially the youth, to maintain peace while expressing their grievances over the incident.
Ile tunaweza kuomba wananchi ni tuendelee kuwa watulivu, nikiwashukuru kwa ile ushirikiano ambao wameweza kuwa nao na vitengo zetu za usalama. Tuendelee pia kushirikiana hivyo tu. Kama wako na habari nyingine wanaweza kupeana, ni sawa, tutaipokea na tutaifanyia kazi.
Noel Ongeso, Easy Friday.
Right now, President William Ruto has said that his administration is implementing inclusive development, particularly historically marginalized areas. Ruto said that implementing inclusive development programs will ensure that no part of Kenya or community is left behind. Addressing residents of Dol Dol after handing over a bus to Kurumde Secondary School, the president noted that access to quality, inclusive and relevant education is a priority for the Kenya Kwanza administration. He pledged to deal with banditry to ensure lasting peace is realized in the county.
Speaking during his development tour of Laikipia Friday, President Ruto pointed out that the county will not be marginalized any longer.
Hata mtu wa kutafutia jina, hajajenga barabara, hajaunganisha stima, hajui watoto wanasoma namna gani, hajui usalama inapatikana namna gani, ajenda hana, mpango hana, ni matusi, ni ukabila. Huyo ni mtu wa kuchagua hata awe kiongozi wa kijiji.
Baina ya Mheshimiwa Rais na wale wengine, nani mchapa kazi? Nani mchapa kazi? Nani mchapa kazi? Nani mchapa kazi?
On development of Laikipia County, the president said the government is investing 15 billion shillings in the affordable housing program, including the construction of 13 modern markets.
Hapa Laikipia tumeweka pesa bilioni 15 ya watu wa Laikipia. Tujenge soko 13 mpya hapa Laikipia.
He additionally said 4 billion shillings has been allocated for the construction of the 60-kilometer Nanyuki Doldol Road, which will commence shortly as a contractor has already been identified.
Tayari tumemaliza kandarasi. Tuko na contractor anaitwa H. Young. atakuja hapa in the next 2 weeks aanze hii barabara, na nimemweleza Doldol hoye, nimemweleza hii barabara aanze kule Nanyuki sehemu moja na aanze hapa Doldol.
He commended the residents of Laikipia for registering in large numbers with the Social Health Authority, saying the county has attained over 60% registration. In Doldol, he laid the foundation stone for the Doldol Huduma Center in Laikipia North constituency, which will house an ICT hub and bring 168 government services closer to the people.
Wale wakora walikuwa wanatusumbua hapa na mambo ya insecurity. Nimepambana na wao kiasi. Kuna wachache wamebaki, lakini mimi nawapatia ilani nikiwa hapa Laikipia leo.
Rise in fire.
On his part, Deputy President Kindiki Kithure said the government is committed to delivering its promises, while adding that the government has taken decisive action to tame insecurity in Laikipia County and its environs.
Mnaambia rais nyinyi ni watu ya 2 term. Mnasema nyinyi ni watu ya 2 term. Kwa Rais William Ruto. Kwa sababu anatujengea barabara ya kutoka Nanyuki mpaka hapa Doldol. Wacha nione 2 term ya William Ruto, 2 term ya William Ruto. Asante rais.
All right, now Deputy Inspector General of Kenya Police Service, Eliud Lagat, has ordered a renewed crackdown on criminal gangs that are politically instigating violence ahead of the country's electioneering period. Speaking during a sub-county commanders conference here in the capital, Lagat directed officers to take personal responsibility in dismantling organized crime networks within their jurisdictions. The Deputy Inspector General of Police also called for a shift in mindset within the service to address emerging technology-driven crimes. Ben Chumba has more details on this.
More than 300 sub-county commanders drawn from across the country convened at the Kenya Police Service Leadership Academy for a high-level consultative forum focused on strengthening policing at the grassroots. The meeting, bringing together officers from the Kenya Police, Administrative Police and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, comes at a critical time as the country approaches the election period.
We have suffered a lot because of attitude, the mindset. It is high time that your attitude towards anything should change into a positive attitude. Let's deal with the mindset of your people that you lead, of the community that you serve, so that the mind changes with the policing, the current policing.
It is here that the Deputy Inspector General Eliud Lagat issued a firm directive to commanders to take charge of security within their jurisdictions.
The IG and the ministry has given us a directive to deal with goons and criminal activities, and especially as we head towards campaign and elections. It is you, the county commanders, who will finish this thing once and for all if you want to.
Deliberations at the conference have also centered on emerging security threats, with police leadership raising concern over the rise in cybercrime, misuse of social media and other technology-driven offenses.
Security issues in the country is well managed. Other than small pockets, areas, especially in the banditry areas, the entire, and of course the terror, the northeastern part, small pockets, the entire country remains peaceful.
The service now says it is in the final stages of digitizing its operations, a move expected to enhance coordination, improve response time, and strengthen crime detection across the country.
We want to bring our commanders into the right perspective on how to deal with them. And that is the conversation that we are having today. And those are the challenges that we really appreciate, that it is part and parcel of the 21st policing issues. And we, as the National Police Service, are not exception with the current crimes, but we'll deal with them.
This is an occasion of sharing knowledge, sharing experiences, sharing learnings between police officers. And definitely, when they go back to their stations, that will translate, and we believe it will translate in the work that they're going to do at the station.
Authorities are also urging Kenyans to cooperate with security agencies and resist being drawn into political activities as political campaigns gather momentum.
We are not under pressure from any political entities. We are just doing our work.
Ben Chumba, Easy Friday.
All right, now all health facilities contracted under the Social Health Authority SHA will be required to install biometric systems as the government moves to curb fraud that has reportedly cost the country millions of shillings. Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale said more than 5,000 facilities have already received biometric machines, with another 3,000 expected to be equipped by next week. Aaron Marie has more details.
The Ministry of Health has already begun distributing the biometric equipment to healthcare facilities. Since the transition from the defunct National Health Insurance Fund NHIF to SHA, the ministry has cited cases of collusion between individuals and some facilities to defraud the system. Duale said the decision follows report of fraud attempts, suspicious multiple hospital visits, and questionable dependents listed under the scheme.
All those issues we have addressed. We have asked teachers to be our ambassadors, and every teacher in our country must download Afya Yangu. Because when you download Afya Yangu, we want, together with the teachers' fraternity, to protect the benefits teachers and the government of Kenya has paid for.
Speaking on the sidelines of a meeting with the Kenya National Union of Teachers in Naivasha, the CS said training of healthcare workers is underway to ensure smooth rollout of the system.
We are also going to roll out another 3,000 by the beginning of next week. For the supplier was to supply, and he has already supplied there in Nairobi, so it's a matter of just training our healthcare workers. So that's why you see SHA has no card. SHA is your thumb.
He noted that within the next 2 months, every facility contracted under SHA is expected to have biometric gadgets to enhance accountability and reduce misuse.
You can see the volume of teachers we have served in 5 months. As of today, we have served 43,000 teachers. So our system is real time.
We will only teach, and we shall only have what we look at as good learning and teaching when teachers are actually healthy.
He further warned hospitals against demanding out-of-pocket payment from teachers, saying any facility found violating the directive risks suspension from the scheme.
If you co-charge a teacher, and if you force a teacher to pay extra, and we have been given one facility in Elgeyo Marakwet this afternoon, and we are investigating it. If we get the evidence, we are going to suspend that facility from the SHA portal.
Aaron Marie for Easy Friday.
All right, you're watching Easy Friday, bringing you a brief of the news that's been shaping up, and the race for the all-Kalou parliamentary race is on. It's going to be a show of political might amongst those competing. That's in the mountain. Details of that coming up. You're looking at business later, sports as well. Our Cabinet Secretary for Roads, Davis Chirchir, has been inspecting the beautification process. That's from JKIA to James Gishuru Road. We also have details of that, but that's on the other side of the break. We're back in a moment.
A continent full of potential, a future full of possibility. The time is now. This May, the world watches Nairobi as Africa and France come together for innovation, growth, and the partnerships that will define our tomorrow. This is the Africa Forward Summit. On May 11th, KBC and Y254 go live from the University of Nairobi for the Africa Forward Business Forum, where 1,500 leaders, CEOs, and young entrepreneurs connect for green growth, AI, and investment. Then on May May 12th, we take you live to the Kenyatta International Convention Center for the main Heads of State Summit, with the main focus being green industrialization and energy transition, reform of the international financial architecture, blue economy, sustainable agriculture, peace and security. Africa Forward Summit, live on KBC Channel 1 and Y254. Don't miss it.
Nairobi, your time is now. Masani ya kutoka blog na KBC imeamua lazima uomoke. Tutakuwa tunakaa mtaa yako kukuomosha very fast. Jibu maswali zangu 3 tuoneka kweli wewe ni true fan wa KBC Channel 1. Na ukizipata 25K ni yako. So make sure una watch KBC Channel 1. Alafu kinicheki kwa streets. Niulize kana kuomosha leo. Omoka na KBC Channel 1. Wanga bad ni mbaya.
Asante wataka nini? Wacha nikwambie vize nao. Wakati wako umeisha, ndio wakati wangu. Nasikia?
Lazima tutumie muda tulionao vizuri. Ongea nami tafadhali.
Kusudi la sarakasi ni nini?
Kwani Maimuna anaenda? Kwani unafanya nini tena?
Toki hapa mpaka niajadili ninayoongelea, sawa? Beko, niache.
Hebu nisikize.
Sitaki kusikiza, sitaki kukuona.
Nikirudi hapa, sitaki kukupata. Kishasikia?
Right, welcome back to Easy Friday. The race for the Kalou parliamentary by-election has started to take shape, with the ruling United Democratic Party Alliance, as the UDA, concluding the nominations today, while the Democracy for Citizens Party, DCP, is set to hold their nominations tomorrow. This follows the death of the Kalou Member of Parliament, David Njuguna Kiaraho, in March. The by-election is slated for July 16th of this year.
The race to replace the late Member of Parliament David Njuguna Kiaraho in the Kalou constituency by-election is rapidly taking shape, with stakes seemingly high between DCP and the ruling UDA party. Speaking to the media, UDA officials led by Secretary General Hassan Omar, Chairperson Cecil Marira and former Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria praised the nomination process, describing it as a major milestone in party primaries. The leaders noted that no incidents of malpractice were reported during the exercise and called on candidates and residents to remain peaceful as they await the official results, assuring them that the process was free, fair and credible.
The turnout that we have seen, the kind of flow of the electoral process, the kind of organization just sets UDA apart from all these other parties. And I think we are satisfied as a party that the seismic shift in Mount Kenya is quite impressive.
And all we are requesting that the same way we've seen our nominations go without any form of political violence, we also believe that the same will happen when we do the actual election. So we are really appealing to our competitors that we ensure we have peaceful elections.
We as UDA party, we are not going to interfere with that process, because everybody should have their right at the ballot. But more important, I am very much encouraged by the people of Kalou for giving us an opportunity, everybody to give their message. And we as a party, we do have a message, the message of development.
And leaders from Democracy for Citizens Party have assured residents that adequate preparations have been made to ensure peaceful and credible nominations in Kalou constituency Saturday.
With us here tuko na all our 8 aspirants wamekuja wote ku witness tukifungua masanduku zetu na ballot papers.
Party officials say they have received all necessary material from the party headquarters and addressed various issues that could arise during the exercise.
Material yote iko hapa na hali ya usalama ya karatasi zetu za kura imezingatiwa.
Tangu tulipoanza hii safari tumeweza kuona matayarisho mazuri, na kwa hivyo tunashukuru chama kwa sababu ya maandalizi hayo, na tunaamini ya kwamba matayarisho ambayo yamebaki kwa siku ya leo itaendelea vizuri na ili tuhakikishe kwamba siku ya kesho tutakuwa na uchaguzi bora, uchaguzi wa huru na uchaguzi ambao ni wa haki.
We are ready as aspirants. We are so ready and I know our people will participate. So I'm only calling you people out here, the people of Kalou, tutokee sisi wote.
Election Board Chairperson Wanjiru Kago has in the meantime said all preparations for the exercise have been finalized, with voting set to take place in 86 polling stations across the constituency.
We can assure you that we will conduct fair, free, credible and verifiable party primaries. And we've also made sure that the relevant staff with the right competencies have been deployed in all the polling stations.
The winner in the UDA nomination will battle it out with the DCP candidate. The by-election in Kalou constituency follows the death of Kalou constituency Member of Parliament David Njuguna Kiarao, who died in March this year. The by-election is set for 26th of July 2026. Timothy Kipnusu for Easy Friday.
All right, then, moving on with news that's been shaping up today. Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Roads and Transport, Davis Chilchir, earlier addressed the media at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport after inspecting the capacity enhancement, landscaping and beautification works along the 26-kilometer stretch from JKIA to James Gishuru Road. Let's listen in.
Basically look at a sample of the beautification of JKIA to ABC Place Road, the underpass, which you are aware was not quite attended to when we did the expressway. And we've looked at different concepts of how to beautify and improve the entry into Nairobi. Nairobi being the JKIA being the gateway to Kenya through aviation or the flight, those who come in flying into Nairobi. And we really want to give the correct image of Kenya by ensuring that the grand entry into the city is properly done. So what we'll achieve when we finish this program is proper drainage, as you see to my left, which will basically collect all the water and exit the water to the right places in terms of ensuring that we remove the flooding around the city. More importantly, have the non-motorized or the NMT for those who want to walk to work or those who want to basically walk for leisure. Have the gardens and the median to basically bring out the character of what we want Nairobi to be. We'll have modern lighting, the kind of lighting you're seeing behind me. And so what we're doing today is looking at the various options, approving what should be implemented across the corridor, about 20, Kimeli, about how many kilometers? 26 kilometers, and therefore run with implementation in the next 6 months. Like I did indicate, this project will cost us 4.6 billion, and we'll do it over a period of 6 months. And we suddenly will come up with a character, a grand entry into the city. We will be seeking to set very high standards for the county government, even though we are working together. And therefore, most of the major connectors into the city will carry the same character when we finish what we are doing on this A8 road from JKIA to ABC Place.
Why now?
I did indicate that you'll appreciate that we are also developing the new airport. It gives us a good opportunity that we did not just do the road at the time when we built the expressway, and therefore we've done the designs to basically cover not just improving the road through doing an overlay, but more importantly, giving the character that Kenya should really present in the region, because we're that kind of city in the region that should really present the kind of leadership. So why now? It's a really great opportunity because You also realize that we are at a time when we are upgrading most of our roads across the country. And starting here at the airport, as you enter into Nairobi, presents a very important opportunity as we work on the infrastructure across the country.
Thank you very much.
Asante.
All right, that's Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Roads and Transport, Davis Chilchir, who earlier was inspecting the landscaping and beautification of the 26-kilometer stretch from JKIA to James Gishuru Road, giving an update on that. Now moving on, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is raising concerns regarding the active participation of state and public officers in political campaigns ahead of the 2027 general election. The anti-graft body warns that engagement in politics by state officers could lead to a culture of lawlessness, impunity, and an uneven political playing field. While acknowledging that the Leadership and Integrity Act provides limited exemptions for cabinet secretaries, the EACC has declared that other state officers, particularly principal secretaries, are strictly required to remain apolitical.
State and public officers engaging in politicking have now caught the attention of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
The law is actually very clear on the responsibilities of public officials when it comes to engaging in politics. And we are called upon to be neutral.
Then it gives the impression to the general public that only those people who are aligned to the particular government in office can benefit from the services of government.
EACC warning it is monitoring the conduct of state officers to ensure compliance with the Constitution.
Of course, as a commission that is empowered to implement and to enforce Chapter 6, we will not hesitate to take action where necessary.
That they should desist because they are politicians whose day-to-day job is to articulate the positions of their parties, the political positions on various items.
Speaking at Karura Forest following the recovery of 17.5-acre piece of land worth 2.8 billion shillings that was initially grabbed by private individuals, EACC CEO Abdi Mohamud and the chair Dr. David Oginde said the commission is also looking into the alleged attempt by private developers to grab parts of Ngong Forest.
That tells you that you may steal public asset today, but eventually it will be recovered.
Many people who grab these kinds of property, they say it's for their children and children's children. But indeed, the children of this particular individual is not going to benefit from it.
You recovered the first lot about 10 years ago, and now you are coming to recover for us the last one, and Karura will be safe.
What the EACC are doing for recovering this land, it means a lot for us who are championing conservation.
So within the 15 billion, we are working with all the stakeholders, including yourselves and others. So today we have done 1,000 seedlings.
Mohamud further stated that aside from the arrest of 11 suspects linked to the embezzlement of 85 million shillings from the Eldama Ravine National Government Constituencies Development Fund kitty, the commission is also looking into other CDF kitties where MPs and board members are allegedly siphoning public coffers. Abdi Aziz Hashim for Easy Friday.
Right now, the Kenya Revenue Authority KRA has unveiled a self-care plan designed to make it easier for taxpayers to file their returns. The self-care plan, christened Jijue Jibeta, is expected to eliminate the complexities and time spent while filing returns. The taxman has partnered with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation to sensitize members of the public about the self-care plan and the need to file returns before June 30th.
The campaign began Friday with the top management of the Kenya Revenue Authority and the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation Managing Director Agnes Kaleche flagging off the campaign dubbed Jijue Jibeta. Jubilation and color marking the flag off at the KRA Kiambu offices. with the caravan expected to pitch tent in the central region until the end of next week. The new SOF plan involves filing through a dedicated WhatsApp number or short code that guides a customer through the filing process. The authority's upbeat that the new SOF care plan will ease customer experience ahead of the June 30th deadline.
We have a target of bringing the service closer to our customers. We want to let them know that we have simplified solutions for them to be able to file and also make payments.
One of our commitments as the organization is to ensure that we bring services closer to our people in order to design experiences that make sense to them as we progress our simplification endeavors.
In Central Region, the taxman expects to net over 300 million in filed returns.
We as a department expect to mobilize over 300 billion and increase the number of taxpayers from 1.2 million to 5 million at the end of the day.
And our objective is to make sure that the message around filing gets to each and every individual who's eligible for this particular process, and to ensure that they are educated in terms of the simplification initiatives that we have as an organization.
The KBC Managing Director called on taxpayers to leverage the information being disseminated by KBC platforms and the roadshow to file their returns.
KBC and KRA have had a long partnership, and this time we are bringing KBC is bringing KRA to you, in that you'll be able to meet our staff on the ground. You'll be able to interact with them. You'll be able to ask those questions you have, and we're very excited to do that.
Based on its reach across the country, Kaleche is confident that KBC will be a critical pillar in aiding KRA's targets.
Largest network footprints in this country. We are able to reach all parts of the country, and through this partnership, we'll be bringing KRA to your marketplaces, to your doorsteps, to your villages, to your town centers, so visit them.
John Jacob Curie, Easy Friday.
Right now, the family of a 14-year-old boy who dropped out of school to care for his sick mother and 4 younger siblings in Dandora in Nairobi has received a new lease of life through the government's affordable housing program. The boy, Jackson Tito, whose story of sacrifice and struggle was told through social media, touched the hearts of many Kenyans, officially moved into a new 3-bedroom house with his family at the Bomayangu estate in Machakos County.
Just 14 years old, Jackson Tito could not hide his joy and gratitude for becoming a house owner, courtesy of the government's affordable housing program.
Na Wakenya wamenisaidia. Mungu awabariki sana Wakenya.
Born in Kitui County, Jackson survived by collecting and selling plastic waste in Nairobi's Dandora area just to feed his family, at times surviving on hot water and salt due to extreme poverty.
Yani kama ninaota nikiwa mbinguni. Maisha ni mzuri sana, yani maisha imechange.
Nilimweka tu kwa TikTok yangu, Madam Tafidha akaona hii video au kijana akaniambia mtoto tushikane tumsaidie.
His story gained national attention through social media coverage and well wishes, eventually reaching President William Ruto, leading to intervention through the housing program. With a dignified place to call home, Jackson has now been enrolled back into school and is preparing to resume his education in Nairobi County to pursue his dream of becoming a lawyer in the future.
Rais William Ruto aliamrisha katibu mkuu wa elimu Bwana Julius Bitok hakikisha watoto wote pia wako shule.
Meanwhile, members of the National Assembly Committee on Housing, Urban Planning and Public Works have expressed satisfaction with the progress of the 7 billion shillings Nyali Affordable Housing Program project. The project, which began in mid-February 2025, is now 50% complete and is expected to be ready within the next 18 months.
Na tumewahimiza hawa contractor kwanza wajenge mabroko kama 3 ikamilike, watu waanze kuingia kwanza. Ndio watu wawe na confidence miradi ya serikali inaendelea.
Joseph Ohungu for Easy Friday.
Right now, for decades, the historic Yatta Canal has served as a lifeline for communities in the lower eastern part of the country. Its water sustaining farms and nourishing lives in a region often hit by unpredictable weather patterns. But years of pollution, siltation and neglect slowly silence the impact of the critical waterway, affecting the community's ability to withstand climate shocks. However, through community-led rehabilitation efforts, the canal is once again breathing life to locals along the pathway in Machakos County. Our reporter, John Kahiro, traversed the narrow waterway and shares the impact of the gem, whose impact is gradually lifting households from the crisis of climate vulnerability to climate resilience.
It is narrow, but the impact is felt by thousands. Since its inception, the historic 58-kilometer Yatta waterway has been a heartbeat for hundreds of households in the lower eastern part of Kenya. Initially serving as a major water source for domestic, livestock and irrigation use for over 70,000 residents. But in 2014, the lifeline that snakes from Thika River to the deep suburbs of Machakos County began to fade, choked in silt, dust and neglect.
Tulikuwa tukiopea kupata na outbreak ya kolera wakati hakukuwa na maji. Always Matu Hospital, Matu Town, watu wa Matu hawakuwa wanapata maji. Kwa hivyo tulikuwa na shida mingi sana.
Downstream in areas such as Matu, Kethemani and Dalani, taps ran dry, farms withered, and the hope for the communities faded in silence.
Maji yote ile matakataka inatoka kwa kijako juu, inakuja tilika inakuja inaingia kwa mtalo. Sasa ikawa hii maji hata ikifunguliwa badala ya kupro huko chini inarudi tena huko kwa mto, maana imejaa matope.
Na kukuwa na watu wanilima kwa shamba kwa sababu kukuwa na maji, hata ya kunywa ilikuwa balaa, hata kuoga ilikuwa shida.
For farmers like Jeff Mwaura, the ripple effect was more than devastating.
Tulikuwa tunamwagia 20 liters can tunagawia kwa pipe mbili. But that is not efficient. For example, the agriculture officer would say, I want a full bucket. Sasa nayo full bucket atatoa wapi? So that is the loss, and also not only the loss in monetary terms but the loss in the production. Kwa sababu hiyo kitu ulikuwa unaweka hiyo maji, production nayo itakuwa low, utaleta loss the second time.
With no water to sustain his vast pawpaw farm, seasons turned against him, a situation that was further exacerbated by the recent biting drought in the region.
Hiyo wakati ilikuwa na shida sana, manake tulikuwa tunaendea maji na gari mpaka huko karibu na Sofia, hapo ndipo tulikuwa tunapata maji na ilikuwa inatukarimu. Manake dakika mwisho tuliona tutumie bausa ya kufanya nini maji. Let me say by then it was so tiresome and expensive to manage.
However, the story is gradually changing. Following extensive rehabilitation and desilting of the canal, courtesy of financing locally led climate action initiative in Machakos County government, water is now flowing again, which has renewed hope for the community.
The FLOCA has financed this rehabilitation to the tune of 45 million Kenya shillings, and the funding basically went into desilting. It is a 58-kilometer canal. And before the desilting, the water was not getting to the last point of this canal.
Once silenced by silt, the canal is now speaking resilience in a region known for vulnerability to climate shocks.
Nasaidika na hii mtaro sana. Kuna jambo ambalo tumefanyiwa mzuri kutolewa ile uchafu ilikuwa ndani. Maji ilikuwa inaishia kilomita kama 10 haikuwa inafika huku. Sasa tunasaidika iko na maji. Tunaanza ukulima, tunaongeza kazi. Hata ikiwa inaendelea chakula itakuwa.
But now that they have access to water, that can now be very important in building their resilience. They can now do farming, they can get water for domestic and even for livestock. So that is a very good way of building the resilience of the local people.
But beyond scaling up water to more than 150,000 beneficiaries, the revamping of the furrow has also provided employment to youth and women who once scrambled and conflicted over scarcity of the crucial resource.
Na watu wengi hapa wako na off-takes. Wanaweka maji hata wanaweka showers kwa manyumba zao. Kwa hivyo hii ni faida kubwa sana. Tena watu wa pande ya juu pia wanapampu maji, wanaweka kwa matangi zao, wanaweka kwa mashowers kwa manyumba. Tuko salamini.
Hii mtaro tulikuwa tumepewa kazi ya hii mtaro. Na ilikuwa na uchafu mingi sana, matope, na kulikuwa na pita ya vijana, hakukuwa na maji. Na vile tulifungua hii mtaro, tukatoa hiyo matope, tulipata kazi. Sasa tumepanda mahindi, kila kitu sasa tumepanda.
The new phase of the Yatta Canal now speaks volumes to the urgent need for mobilizing resources to finance community-led climate action in a bid to boost climate resilience in adaptation efforts.
The population of our farmers is about 75,000 people, and we have 639 off-takes. But for the domestic users, Matu town and its environs, we have approximately of 92,000 people who use the water.
The rehabilitation of this 58-kilometer Yatta Canal is slowly breathing life to communities along its path, providing a sustainable source of water both for domestic use and farming, and to a greater extent boosting their climate resilience. John Kahiro for Channel 1 News, Kethimani, Machakos County.
Wakenya, ni wakati mwingine wa kuhakikisha kuwa umefile KRA returns. Je, uko rada una challenge yoyote? Usiwe na shaka. KRA wakishirikiana na KBC Channel 1 wanakuja hapo ulipo kusaidia kufile returns na kulipia ushuru wako. Jiunge na msafara wa KRA Roadshow, uwe fiti mambo ya returns. Alhamisi ya tarehe 8 na Ijumaa tarehe 9 mwezi Mei, tutakuwa na mobile clinic maeneo ya Thika Town na Kiambu Town. Mjini Thika utatupata katika eneo la Huduma Center, na mjini Kiambu katika eneo la Ola Fuel Station. Tarehe 30 Juni iko mlangoni. Usingoje hadi dakika za mwisho. File KRA returns mapema. Ishi bila stress. Jijue, jibeta. KRA, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee.
My name is Irene Muigai.
My name is Steve Muigai Kim. We met at campus at Egerton University, Joro.
I just saw a guy and we grew to be very good friends.
Lakini alikuwa anakatiwa anakuja ananiambia niliachwa.
And he asked me to be the girlfriend.
Dad did not attend their wedding.
Mom, dad ako wapi? Kwani hawajafika? My uncle had to be pulled.
We differed. Ile mbaya ile ya kuachana. Just because of a key holder. Was it a key holder?
And so I'm very intentional as a mom to help my kids process things.
Who apologizes first after a fight? Oh.
All right, welcome back to Easy Friday. Now, donkey numbers in the country have recorded a significant rise over the last 5 years following stricter government measures aimed at curbing theft and illegal slaughter of the animals. This was said during World Donkey Day celebrations held in Enkorika village, Kajiado Central Sub-County, where farmers benefited from free mass vaccination and animal welfare sensitization exercise.
In Enkorika village, Kajiado Central Sub-County, farmers gathered donkeys in a field to celebrate the World Donkey Day. The event brought together veterinary officers, local administrators, and animal welfare experts from the Africa Network for Animal Welfare. The event focused on improving donkey health through free vaccination, while also educating owners on proper feeding, treatment, and humane handling. Veterinary officers warned that despite the rising donkey population, challenges such as overloading, neglect, and inadequate healthcare continue to threaten the animals' well-being.
Tunajua kuna shida ambayo changamoto ya uwekezaji. Kuna wenye wanabeba mizigo zaidi, na hizo mizigo ikibebeshwa zaidi punda huchoka na kuzeeka haraka, na tena pia unapata saa zingine kama ni punda ndogo imebebeshwa huvunjika, alafu haikomai vile inafaa, na tena mizigo ingine haijafungwa vizuri zinaleta vidonda kwa punda.
In Kajiado County, donkeys remain a vital part of daily life, especially among women in the Maasai community. The animals are widely used for transporting water, firewood, and farm produce across the expansive and often harsh terrain. Local women said donkeys have significantly reduced their workload while also supporting household incomes through transport services and small-scale trade.
Punda haikuwa kitu ya maana, mnyama wa maana, lakini kwa sasa tumeanza kupata usaidizi, wanatibiwa, wanadungwa na tumefurahia sana.
Mama anaona punda kama mke mwenza kwa sababu anamsaidia kuleta maji, kuchota, hata kuleta kuni, na inawasaidia sana.
Veterinary experts attributed the increase in donkey numbers to strengthened enforcement against illegal slaughterhouses, as well as growing public awareness on the animal welfare.
Kulingana na juhudi zetu na ya county government, idadi ya punda imeongezeka hapa Kajiado, na tena hata ukiangalia punda ambao tuko na hapa siku ya leo, afya yao inapendeza, ni mzuri kuliko hapo awali.
Kukiwa na wahalifu wanataka kuiba punda, hiyo information ifikie serikali kwa sababu ni jukumu letu wote kutunza huyo mnyama.
The celebrations marked a renewed push to protect donkeys, which remain an essential backbone of rural livelihoods in the region. For Easy Friday, I am Teresa Mutai.
Right now, learning has resumed at Miridho Girls Secondary School in Deya, Kiambu County after a week-long closure occasioned by a fire incident that destroyed one dormitory and students' belongings. Now, under tight supervision from the school administration and relevant authorities, students have begun reporting back to school gradually, where temporary facilities including tents have been set up to accommodate learners as efforts are continued to restore normal operations. This and more stories in our county news brief.
With the investigation still ongoing to establish the exact cause of the fire that caused damage to the property in a dormitory at Miridho Girls Secondary School, parents have urged the school management to stay vigilant and ensure student safety, stressing the need to strengthen fire prevention systems and conduct regular inspections to avoid disasters that are preventable in the future. Limuru MP John Kiragu donated 100 mattresses and 20,000-litre tanks to the school, which will be used by the students in temporary facilities.
Kama mzazi wowote yule, maombi yetu ni usalama wa shule. Management iwe na extra careful na kuangalia kama hizo mashort circuits za stima ziwe zinaangaliwa, kuna mafundi wao watu wakiangalia. Watoto wetu tumeleta hapa masaa mingi wako na wao walimu. Sisi kama wazazi tunawachia na mara mingi na kuomba Mungu, na Mungu badi ni mbele ya kila kitu.
Solidarity forever. And due to a funding crisis, public health services across Kenya may soon face disruptions to what officials describe as unfair budget allocations, noting that despite the Ministry of Health receiving 200 billion shillings, little progress had been made in strengthening public health services.
We demand respect in the Ministry of Health. By this I mean that we have been seeing people who are masquerading in the name of public health, in the name of doing public health activities, yet they are not been licensed and registered by public health officers and the council to work.
Still on health, Meru clinicians have camped outside Meru Governor's office as the strike enters the third week to demand implementation of the CBA agreement on promotions and salary increments. The county government is now using medical interns and students, noting that this is putting patients' lives at risk. They are now asking Meru Governor Isaac Mutuma to come out and address the plights of clinical officers and restore normalcy in the health sector.
Kusema, wizi katika sekta ya afya sisi hatutakubali, si ndio? The money that is intended to promote healthcare workers, the money that is intended to hire healthcare workers, must be provided.
The Kenya Revenue Authority has assured Kenyans that its integration with M-Pesa is not intended to interfere with customers' transaction or compromise their personal data. Speaking during a citizens' engagement assembly in Meru County, KRA Acting Commissioner General Dr. Lilian Nyawanda noted that key issues raised revolved around filing of returns and taxpayer education, emphasizing that the feedback gathered will help KRA develop systems that enhance accessibility to services such as KRA PINs, e-invoices and iTax.
Objective of this engagement was to listen to the citizens, understand their issues around tax areas, and be able to listen and also give solutions or provide way forward or pick up the feedback on areas and actions that we're going to implement. And we've agreed that this is just the beginning. This is going to be an ongoing engagement.
Elsewhere, an increase in cotton production could lead to a lack of market if the Buy Kenya, Build Kenya policy is not implemented. According to the chairman of Agriculture and Food Authority in the country, Corneli Serem, implementing this policy will greatly benefit farmers.
The need for us to increase the production of cotton here will have no market if we don't encourage the policy of buy Kenyan products. If we are going to encourage Kenyans to plant a lot of cotton, and for us to have a lot of cotton, then we must have a market. If we have the market, and then definitely most Kenyans, many Kenyans in this region will definitely plant a lot of cotton.
Finally, fishermen in Malindi have demanded the immediate completion of a 55 million shilling stalled fish market in the area, saying that its construction had taken long. During a tour of the Blue Economy Water and Irrigation Committee of the National Assembly, chaired by Marakwet East MP Kangongo Bowen, the fishermen also alleged corruption in the Kenya Marine and Fisheries Socio-Economic Development projects in the area, noting that the contractor abandoned the site over non-payment.
It's a project which is going to address the post-harvest losses of the fish farmers around this place. And it's also going to improve how they are going to handle the fish.
Michelle Mudeo for Easy Friday.
All right, now, as students across the country prepare to sit their examinations, different communities turn to tradition for strength, guidance, and reassurance. Now, in the Hindu community, one such tradition is the Mahapuja, a sacred gathering of prayer and offering performed to seek blessings for success and clarity. Our reporter now takes us to the unique ceremony at the BAPS Swaminarayan Mandir, where faith, culture, and education come together.
In a calm and reverent setting, the soft chants of prayers fills the air. Families, students and community members have gathered here united by a shared purpose. Today, a Mahapuja is being performed for students preparing to sit their exams.
A special, significant Sanskrit prayer that's usually deeply rooted in our Swaminarayan Sampradaya. And the main motto of this prayer was to help the students that are soon going to be sitting for their O-levels, A-levels, universities exams, and also for students who are soon going to be exploring critical life pathways.
For clarity, focus, and strength to do their best, our Guru Pramukh Swami Maharaj provided us with a golden formula for life. Hard work plus prayer equals success.
For many within the Hindu community, a Mahapuja is more than a ritual. It is a deeply rooted cultural and spiritual practice, one that marks important life moments with a prayer, reflection, and collective hope.
It's really important for us because it helps this young people to develop a strong moral character toward the exam, in the sense that they do not have anxiety or fear towards the exam, and they instead develop a positive attitude. It also gives them inner peace and confidence and emotional stability, meaning that they don't have fears and they're more willing and motivated to give the exam or pass through any critical pathway in their life, because they know they have the support of God, Guru, and the organization itself.
But beyond the spiritual significance, this gathering reflects something deeper. The role of culture in shaping identity and community. Here, preparation for exams is not just academic. It is emotional, it is communal, it is cultural. For the students, this moment offers more than reassurance. It becomes a source of inner strength, a reminder that they are not alone in their journey.
Prayer, it gives me more courage and more motivation to work harder for my upcoming exams, and it gives me a sense of relief that I have done my part, and because God is always there to support me in my life, because I've done my part, He'll be there to do His part.
While doing the Mahapuja, students pray for them to excel in their studies, stay focused and achieve great success in all their exams. May God bless them with knowledge, strength and wisdom.
As generations gather to uphold this tradition, there is also a conscious effort to preserve it. Passing down such practices ensures that culture remains a living, breathing part of everyday life.
That we should carry on our teachings and our cultural values, and eventually it's just for their own benefit at some point, because they gain confidence, inner peace and emotional stability together with a strong moral character.
Time where academic pressure continues to rise, moments like these offer balance, bringing together faith, culture and community. And as these students step into examination rooms in the coming days, they do so not only prepared in mind, but strengthened in spirit. Jackie Wambiru, My Culture.
It's so much more than that. So the story is the story of the Bible, and it's taking you from creation, or Genesis, all the way to Revelation.
Using the latest light detection and 3D laser technology, you can literally interact with the walls.
Suddenly, I'm a little kid again, and I could go and create and paint on the walls.
I just wanted my mom to look me in the eyes and say, son, I love you at the end of the day, and give me kisses on my forehead, on my cheeks, but I never received that.
John Nicholas's mother worked long hours raising 5 children alone. The stress took its toll, and she took her anger out on her kids. When John was just 7 years old, his mother beat him with her high heels. This went on for years. By the time John was 15, his mother kicked him out of the house.
And a very good evening to you. Welcome to Easy Friday Business News. My name is Ndotamo Kami. Let's take a look at what is happening in the world of business. Now, Kenya is intensifying efforts to position itself as a digital hub in Africa as the government pushes for increased investment in technology and innovation. Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Dr. Korir Sing'oei says digital diplomacy is emerging as a key tool in promoting enterprise development, job creation, and global partnerships. Kenya's digital economy is expected to feature prominently during the Africa Forward Summit to be held in Nairobi next week, with the government now pushing for digital diplomacy as part of efforts to attract investment and create opportunities for young innovators. The Africa Forward Summit is a platform for youth under the Nova Garage program to showcase technology-driven innovations and connect with potential investors. Speaking during the signing of a partnership agreement between the Kenya Development Corporation and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Principal Secretary Korir Sing'oei says Kenya is increasingly positioning digital innovation as part of its broader foreign policy and economic growth strategy.
Our focus is actually in providing capital to various projects, innovative projects that we think would be able to be scaled up into big businesses. And so our focus will be more or less in terms of providing capital to the various projects that we will be able to see at that event.
This contribution by KDC will, I think, feed into the narrative that we have that, in fact, it wasn't a one-off, kind of thing, but it is a trend. In fact, it is an identity, and Kenya is indeed a leader in this sector, not just in the past, but going into the future.
Kenya Development Corporation Director General Nora Atemo says the agency is keen on supporting young entrepreneurs leveraging digital platforms and technology to scale innovation. She says increased access to financing and investment opportunities is critical in supporting youth-led enterprises.
The critical issues, of course, has to do with access to capital by Africa's SMEs, particularly startups. And I'm very pleased because Nova Garage is precisely that. It is a platform of young people.
The digital and creative space is actually one of revenue generating sectors for this economy, and government has given it the focus as one. It has the highest, it would contribute to job creation.
The two-day Africa Forward Summit will deliberate on technology, innovation, investment and trade partnerships. And in the world of EV, a section of local e-mobility investors are targeting to woo French investors in the upcoming Africa Forward Summit to secure partnerships. Langhu Group Managing Director Richard Chesebe says local e-mobility startups are seeking additional working capital to expand charging infrastructure in remote areas to support last-mile transport of goods and services.
According to Kenya has 2.5 million motorbikes, with the majority operating on fuel engine. However, players in the e-mobility industry say a number of motorcycle owners are planning to convert their fuel engine to electric as fuel prices increase. Local e-mobility startups say they are seeking to leverage on the upcoming Africa Forward Summit to attract French capital to accelerate the transition to e-mobility.
The funding that we are looking at is enough for us to be able to put charging stations all over the country, and that would include solarization of the same charging stations and the infrastructure.
The startups say they are seeking joint ventures to raise capital to expand charging infrastructure and ease credit access to potential e-bikes customers.
The partners, especially the French, who are coming up to provide solutions, especially funding for our homegrown solutions in terms of maybe charging stations, financial input to the various organized sectors that would want funding.
E-mobility is touted to open up remote areas for investment and trade.
We take e-mobility to the rural areas where they cannot access fuel in a short span.
The e-mobility companies are also planning to tap into the French expertise in conversion and e-mobility technology. Benson Drioba reporting for Easy Friday.
Now, Stanbic Bank Kenya has reported 3.5 billion shillings, representing a 5.5% growth in net profit that was driven by increased interest income and a 59% reduction in loan loss provisions.
And advances increased from 244.01 billion shillings to 258.16 billion shillings. From this, the lender booked 11.53 billion shillings in total interest income, which was 4.7% higher than the 11 billion shillings registered during the first 3 months of 2025. Lower interest income on loans and advances was offset by higher interest income on deposits and placements with banking institutions. In addition, total non-interest income reduced from 2.76 billion shillings to 2.38 billion shillings, mainly on account of lower foreign exchange trading income. On the other hand, other operating expenses reduced 5.45 billion shillings to 5.03 billion shillings. This was mainly on account of lower loan loss provision that reduced from 855.5 million shillings to 350.14 million shillings. This is despite staff costs increasing from 2.1 billion shillings to 2.49 billion shillings. Gross non-performing loans and advances increased from 22.94 billion shillings to 23.31 billion shillings. Total assets increased 23% from 450 billion shillings to 552 billion shillings on account of higher loans and advances due to the recovery of the private sector. Alanauko, Easy Friday.
Thank you, Alan, for that report. Now, food delivery platform Glovo has announced plans to invest 10 billion shillings in Kenya by the year 2030 in an expansion drive that is expected to double the workforce to 1,200. Glovo Kenya Managing Director Caroline Mutoko says the new investment will support technology, operations, and expansion to more towns in Kenya. The company says the planned 10 billion shilling investment over the next 5 years will support expansion across its delivery network, merchant partnerships, and technology operations. Currently, the firm, which has operations in 12 towns, employs over 6,000 people, supports over 6,000 merchants, and 2,200 active riders daily.
Out of the 22 markets, 6 of them are in Africa, so around 25% of our footprint is here in the continent, and it's one of the fastest growing in terms of global total.
Expansion of digital platforms and technology-driven businesses is supporting the growth of the ICT sector, accommodation, and food services.
Glovo, our business, as you know, and you feel, is not just about the top line growth of 40% year on year and the revenue that it brings to us, or even the sales to our. Every euro, every shilling that passes through Glovo has a direct impact on the local ecosystem.
Glovo has opened a new regional headquarters in Nairobi that will serve as part of its African operations hub, supporting technology and business functions across the continent. Now, that's all the time we had for you this Easy Friday. Now, remember, KBC will be bringing to you all the action at the upcoming Africa Forward Summit that is slated to start on Monday 11th and end on Tuesday. Keep it KBC Channel 1. My name is Ndotamo Kami, but don't go too far. On the other side of the studio, Daniel Wahome is bringing the latest in the world of sports. Do have yourselves a lovely evening.
Tunajidai na lugha sanifu ya Kiswahili.
Leo twashiriki, njooni mwenda sisi. Sanaa ya Kiswahili leo imetufikia sisi.
Ni heri nikose usingizi baadaye kwa kuhitimu kimasomo.
Adhabu kali inapowekwa pahali popote pale husimama kama funzo kwa wahalifu wengine.
Unda majina mawili kutokana na vitenzi vifuatavyo. Ridhi.
Tunapata mridhi.
Tambua kishazi katika sentensi hii. Mbuzi walioibwa jana wamepatikana salama. Tambua kishazi. Naona Maria uko tayari.
Walioibwa.
Makinika, cheki wanafunzi wanavyozikwenda, utaona wengine wafanya hivi, wengine sijui wafanya hivi, wengine sijui. Ni hapa.
A very good evening to you. My name is Daniel Wahome and welcome to Easy Friday Sport. Now, brilliant Chepkorir clocked 16 minutes, 11.5 seconds to win the women's 5,000 meter race during the Prisons Kenya Inter-Regional Athletics Championship at the Ulinzi Sports Complex, Nairobi. The three-day championship has drawn over 10 Prisons regions competing for titles in 3 disciplines. That's athletics, darts and chess.
Brilliant Chepkorir representing Eastern Prisons clocked 16 minutes 11.5 seconds to emerge victorious. Reigning 5,000 meters national champion Rebecca Mwangi finished second in 16 minutes 13.9 seconds, while Poland half marathon champion Sheila Chepkurui owned up third 16 minutes 14.4 seconds.
Imekuwa ngumu basi nimeng'ang'ana. Nimeshinda. Nilikuwa nataka ni double nifanye nikimbie leo ndio niweze kuchukua hiyo title. But unfortunately, nimepatana na Brilliant. She is a best friend for me.
Elsewhere, Kevin Kipkorir and Elkanah Kiprotich Sabila won their respective 200 meters heats to qualify for Saturday's finals. Elkanah, who was part of the national relays team that took part in last weekend's World Athletics Relays in Botswana, timed 21.1 seconds, relegating Samuel Wasike and Isaiah Mokua to second and third positions respectively, while Kevin Kipkorir won his heat in 21.4 seconds.
Now I came here just to sharpen my whatever before niende race ya Ghana. Sijakuwa ndani ya season sana this season, so najaribu kutafuta speed. At least imerudisha. Sijakuwa kwa form nzuri hivyo, na najaribu kutafuta na 200.
Meanwhile, in the corresponding women's race, Brenda Masitsa posted 24.8 seconds to top her qualifying round and qualify for Saturday's final.
Na feel vizuri juu mazoezi kumbe yenye tunafanya at least kuna mali inafika.
Mwili na respond to training.
Yeah, mwili na respond.
The two-day championship is set to culminate on Saturday. Bernard Okumu, Easy Friday Sports.
And Kenya Pipeline registered their second successive win after defeating Postbank 3-1 during the ongoing Kenya Volleyball Federation Women's Division 1 matches played today at the Nyayo Gymnasium in Nairobi. Postbank, who were sitting top of the standings after 7 matches, won the first set 25-20. But Kenya Pipeline, who finished third at the recently concluded Africa Women's Volleyball Club Championship in Cairo, staged a comeback in the second set, winning 25-19. Pipeline head coach Jeffrey Omondi made tactical changes that ensured the side prevailed in the third and fourth sets, 25-16 and 25-19. In other results, defending champions KCB defeated Kenyatta University in straight sets of 25-11, 25-7 and 25-11, while Kenya Army saw off Nairobi Prisons 3-1.
Played well. We are in the first set. We did not play well because we lost that set. But we're also building our players, so we gave them an opportunity, the young players, to play in that set. But the rest of the set, we decided to field our senior team, and we were able to beat Postbank 3-1.
We played well in the first set, but they were able to tackle us because they had more cheering spirit than us. Tulijaribu kuwafuata, but they wakatuachia range kubwa, and so we said let's go for the next set, and we are able to also tackle them, and that's why it has ended 3-0. Yeah.
This game lazima tuwako na endurance sana, na tukirudi najua tutawaka hiyo endurance. Ninaamini matumaini kwamba next game tutacheza vizuri zaidi.
Session kidogo tu tulilose focus kidogo, but next time tutawak na hiyo. The focus tulilose kidogo tu.
A total of 60 upcoming volleyball players benefited from a 2-day training camp organized by Trailblazers Volleyball Club in partnership with African Leadership, held at the Kenya Pipeline Indoor Arena in Nairobi. The training, which was led by visiting USA national women's volleyball team player Chiaka Ogbogon, aims to equip the upcoming players with requisite skills which will subsequently contribute to the growth of the game in the country.
Team, by the way, that has an academy, well-structured academy, and it's part of our initiative that we want to ensure that these kids get the basics that we need down there. They also have experienced players who are playing international leagues to come and play together, which of course they are studying from them. They are learning a lot from them.
Big advantage because for us we start at a very old age, let me say, because at your 20s, senior 20s, and then that's when you're starting to see the strength and conditioning in your sports. That's very late for an athlete. We are trying to emulate whatever they do out there, so, and I believe we are the first club to do that. Yeah, so it is a very advantageous, according to me, because I'm still playing, and I started the SNC when I was a bit. I've played for a long time. Yeah, so I started training these skills when I was 23, but these kids are 14, 12, So it's very impactful for them.
I had a connection with Kenya. I've never been here. This is my first time. But for me, I feel like volleyball, especially in Kenya, is growing so much, but there's not enough exposure or people coming back to help. So I wanted to kind of start the charge here. In general, in my professional career, I've never played in the continent of Africa. And my goal, one of my life goals, is for volleyball to grow in this continent. So more international tournaments come here, more club teams are able to travel. So if this is the beginning of it, then I'm really happy.
Now, Posta Rangers, Ulinzi Stars, Kariobangi Sharks and Bidco United are all locked in must-win fixtures for survival, with relegation knocking on their doors. The four sides are separated by 9 points on the FKF Premier League table, with Posta Rangers the better side out of the four, on 33 points in 14th position, while Bidco United are in a worse position, sitting second from bottom with just 24 points.
Posta Rangers, Ulinzi Stars, Kariobangi Sharks and Bidco United are the four FKF Premier League teams still in danger of following Sofapaka in relegation and have an uphill task starting this weekend, as they cannot afford to sleep with only 4 matches left to play this season. Kariobangi Sharks, sitting 16th on the table, will play Nairobi United, searching for only their 7th win of the season and 3 points that will keep alive their hopes of survival. Their opponents, Nairobi United, have registered 13 wins this season and sit 4th on the table with 48 points, just 3 points behind third placed and defending champions Kenya Police. Ulinzi Stars, in 15th position with 31 points, have a difficult trip to Shabana as they seek a 9th win of the season. Ulinzi, however, are better placed than their relegation friends as they have a match at hand. They will play Shabana, who are 16 points above them in 6th position. Posta Rangers may have an easy test as they play already relegated Sofapaka and need just 2 wins to almost guarantee themselves of safety. Bidco United are in more danger. They must win their remaining matches to have any chance of survival, hoping the other sides continue to drop points. Bidco will play former champion Stars KFC in their need of maximum points to continue closing the gap, as they are 6 points behind Kariobangi Sharks. A total of 9 matches will be played, with the biggest game pitting leaders and title contenders Gor Mahia against defending champions Kenya Police.
And over 575 football players drawn from 25 teams across the country have benefited from full playing kits and training equipment from BetPower in a move aimed at strengthening grassroots football and promoting inclusivity in the community. The donations of over 6 million shillings include jerseys, shorts, socks, match balls, training bibs and goalkeeper gloves. Among the teams which benefited are Maungu All-Stars FC, Majengo FC, Mwendo FC, Kapkoret Starlet, St. Joseph's Nakuru, Marengo United, Masimba Queens, Lugusi FC and Young Boys. The initiative is expected to improve organization within teams, enhance match preparedness and create a more professional environment for players.
We believe that it is important that our customers, are safe. We ensure that in our business operations, sustainability, health of our players is very paramount to us. So our responsible gaming initiative rests on 3 pillars. The first P stands for prevention, E stands for educate, and then the final P stands for protect.
I can assure you that at the grassroots level, that is, for example, we are from the local sides, from Tharaka there are very many challenges, ranging from financial to justice to uniforms and whatever.
We are very happy for the donation of the kits. These kits, we'll start using them this week. This Sunday we have a league match, so we will launch the kits. I know the girls will be excited, and these kits will motivate them to even keep fighting and keep playing.
And so that's the sport for tonight. Tomorrow, it's Legends Edition. See you then as we cover a lot of the sport that will be happening all day, including the Kenya Cup final. Can Kabras Sugar make it 5 in a row, or will KCB stop that run? It's all happening at the ASK Showground in Kakamega. better known in the rugby circles as the Forest. My name is Daniel Wahome. Thank you for being with us. And being a Friday, it's time to get funky the disco way. John Kago, you're next to DJ Cole Jax. What's on that playlist? Just steal it for us, please.
All right, absolutely. Thank you so much, Daniel Wahome. DW, that sporting update. Time for Disco Funk with none other than Cole Jax. We thank you sincerely for choosing Easy Friday tonight. Cole Jax, it's time for a shift of gears now.
Of course, you have to shift gears.
Yeah, it's time to shake a leg.
Yes, of course.
What do you have lined up for us?
Yes, of course. I've got music from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Come Dawa, some Bobby Brown here, some Chris Cross there, some Men at Work, some Dr. Kalimba. You know the vibes, man. You know, it's all feel good vibes right here on KBC Channel 1.
Absolutely.
Yes, of course.
Probably I could take this chance to wish two of my friends who are celebrating their birthday today.
Yes,
wish them a happy birthday. Actually, they share the birthday with none other than David Attenborough, who is 100 years old today. Wow. He's a senior broadcaster, has worked at BBC, won numerous awards. And another person who's celebrating the birthday today, now that we're speaking music, Enrique Iglesias, who's turning 51. Anything from Enrique for my birthday friends? One is Mary Muihaki, another one is Enrico. Happy birthday to you guys. Anything from Enrique Iglesias?
For Mary and Enrico, I think I can play for you some Balamos by Enrique Iglesias. I also have a couple of tracks lined up inside the playlist.
All right, let's go. What do you have for them? Let's go.
Yes, of course. Enrique Iglesias, Balamos. Stand by for Disco Funk coming through in a few minutes.
Asante. All right, cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Bless. Enjoy your show.
Enjoy.
Forbidden